Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Caleb and this is Drowning in Yarn. Today is a super special episode for me. I just hit 4,000 subscribers on my channel this weekend, which is insane, and I owe it all to you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me. And I thought it would be really fun today to do a little bit of an Ask Me Anything. I've seen a lot of people doing this on their Instagram stories, but I thought it'd be really fun to do one as a video. Also, if you stick around till the end, I have a giveaway and I want to show you what I'm giving away and tell you how you could win it. So don't go anywhere. All right, real quick before we get to all the questions that people ask me, I just want to remind you, if you haven't already subscribed, hit that little subscribe button down below and the bell next to it to get notifications when I have new videos come out. And definitely hit that like button if you're enjoying this video while you're watching, and leave a comment and let me know what your answers to some of these questions are. I'm super interested to get to know you a little bit better as well, and I think that'd be really fun. All right, so I sent out a question on my Instagram stories letting people know that I was going to be doing this video and asking what their questions were, and people gave me some questions that were all very interesting. Some I won't be answering, but most of them were really good, and so let's just jump into them. I kind of categorize them. The first ones are kind of get to know me questions. They're just random things about me, so I'm gonna answer them. The first one was, what's my favorite rainy day meal? I don't know, but I think my favorite meal every day is fried rice. I love fried rice. There's a delicious Thai place that's not too far from me, and I always get veggie fried rice and a fried tofu appetizer, and they always ask me if it's for just me, and it is, but they give me 2 forks anyway, and it's so delicious. So somebody asked me how I learned to knit and what got me interested in knitting, and I don't know, I just like making things, and I tried to learn to knit a long time ago, and it didn't quite work out. And then last year, or the year before last, I just kind of decided I wanted to learn to crochet on a whim. I did that. And then I was looking at patterns online for crochet and came across knitting patterns and just really wanted to make things that I could wear. I thought knitting would be a little bit better for my style. So I just signed up for a class in my local yarn store here in Chicago, Knit One, and never stopped. So somebody asked me a really good question, and it's, what was your favorite movie from 1986, which is objectively the greatest year for movies ever? I really like this question because I was born in 1986, except I'm sure my answer is ridiculous because I know movies like Top Gun came out that year. I've never seen that movie. A movie that I have seen and I watched just last month is Jumpin' Jack Flash, and that is my favorite movie from 1986. I think it was Whoopi Goldberg's first movie, and I know Penny Marshall directed it, and it's hilarious. It's ridiculous and dumb, but so funny, and it just makes me really happy whenever I watch it. So that's my favorite movie from 1986. Don't at me, I hope you don't hate me. I'm sure there are better movies objectively, but that's my favorite. And then somebody also asked me what my all-time favorite Janet Jackson song is, and if you follow me on Instagram, you know that Janet Jackson is my favorite artist of all time. She's perfect and all of her songs are perfect, and this question is really hard to answer. But I will say the first Janet Jackson song that I remember falling in love with is Together Again. I just think the message of that song is so amazing. I think the music and the melody and the video and her voice in that song is all just flawless. And so I guess I'm gonna have to say that song. My favorite ridiculous Janet Jackson song is All Night Don't Stop from her album Demita Joe, which was not one of her most popular, but it's so good. Also, the video is amazing. But my answer is Together Again. So the last question in this category, somebody asked me what's your favorite thing to watch or listen to while knitting? And I wish I could say it was like an audiobook or something. I haven't read very much during the pandemic, and I usually read a ton, and I'm not an audiobook person. So I wish I could say that, but probably it's Bob's Burgers. Lately, we've been watching Bob's Burgers while we eat dinner, and then I'll pick up my knitting after. So I'd say Bob's Burgers. I love that show. Okay, the next category of questions has to do with patterns. Y'all know I love to talk about patterns. I love to discover amazing new patterns, and I love to tell people about patterns I love. So I really like this category. So the first question is, when you see a pattern, are you drawn to the design or the color? And I think the answer is the design. The colors are often really gorgeous, but sometimes I see designs in crazy colors, and unless they're socks, I'm just not gonna knit them in crazy colors. And so I will kind of have to think about it in terms of what colors I will wear and what colors I like to wear, and then just think about the design in terms of like the actual design elements of it. And so I think I would have to say the design and not the colors. Sometimes I feel like it's hard to divorce the design from the color, and then I'll pass something up that I come back to later and realize I should have made whenever I see somebody else's amazing project. I'm trying to think of a good example and I can't right now, but I know that has happened. So it's absolutely the design, but I have to be careful about that. So somebody asked me, what's that thing that you're not interested in knitting at all? And I think some people would probably say socks, or some people would say sweaters, or, you know, I don't know, something that intimidates them or they just don't enjoy. But honestly, I have yet to find like a category of knitted items I don't like making, because I just like knitting. So I don't think there's anything really, because I love to knit so much. And then somebody asked me, what's my favorite project so far? Which I think goes along with the next question, which is, what is my favorite pattern to make multiples of? So like that I've made multiple times. And she goes, LOL, not socks, which good catch. But I think it's the Roku hat. It's just such a perfect hat. I love it. I've made it 3 or 4 times. I've got yarn in my stash that I'm gonna make it with again. I'm gonna use this chocolate truffle yarn I got from Brujeria Lana, which y'all know she's like my favorite. I think it will just make the most amazing Roku. My favorite way to make it is holding fingering weight double. It just makes this gorgeous, squishy, tight fabric, and the hat just fits perfectly. So it's definitely the Roku hat. Like, that's my favorite. And then somebody asked me if I have any knitting patterns in the works, and I have an idea. I don't think I'm a designer, but there's a pattern that I want to make, and I want to do it soon. It's seasonally appropriate for Christmas, and so I need to just make it. It's simple, and I'm gonna do it. In the next month or so, I would say I'll have a teaser. I'm committing. This is me committing to writing the pattern. All right, so then I got what I would categorize as questions about techniques. Some of them, I'm not quite sure how to answer it, like this first question. Do I have any knit confessions? Things that I do that I'm technically not supposed to do, and things I must do. And I wish I could say that there are things I must do, but I'm so inconsistent about things. I mean, y'all already know that I have problems with taking notes, which I'm getting better about. I just forget to do things sometimes. So I wouldn't say I'm super consistent or consistent enough to say that there are things I must do. And I don't think there are things that I'm technically not supposed to do, because I think if it works, it's right. If it looks fine, if I'm happy with it, then there's nothing wrong with it. So I don't have any knitting confessions except to say that I don't mind breaking the rules if it works for me. But whenever it doesn't work for me, apparently I make a video and complain about it. Then I got 2 questions that were super similar. One was what knitting skill that I don't know but want to learn sooner rather than later. And then the other one was bucket list knits or techniques or both. I think they're basically the same question, right? Like something I really want to learn. And I really wanted to learn to dye, and I thought I was gonna just be obsessed with it and do it all the time. And I did learn, and I have dyed, and I like it. I have all this stuff, and I intend to do it every now and then, but it's never gonna be something that I'm gonna do all the time. And I could see kind of designing, or designing like just freestyle improv knitting, maybe a hat or something in that category, right? Like something that I would love to know how to do for those times when I want to do it, but not something that I'm gonna like make my thing. So I would say that, designing, or just learning how to make things that I see in my head and like put it out in the world through stitches. That would be kind of cool. And then somebody asked me, do I have any experience, good or bad, with Fair Isle or stranded knitting? And I think the question is just like, have I done it? And the answer is yes, and I like it. Whenever I do a big stranded knitting project, I always kind of feel like I've had enough by the end of it, and I don't want to do it for a little bit of time, just because for me it's like more of a process I have to pay attention to and like really follow my pattern, which is fine, but I don't always want to be knitting like that. So I really like it. I love the result. I like the process. It's a process that I like to do every now and then, spaced out, so that I keep loving it and not just get tired of it and hate it. So the last category is my favorite category, and it is about yarn. I love yarn. I love to talk about yarn. I buy too much yarn and don't knit enough yarn apparently lately. But I got a question, do you have a favorite yarn? What's your favorite fiber to knit with? What's your favorite yarn to work with? And the answer is not like a brand or a type of fiber like BFL or Cornmeal or anything. It's just fingering weight yarn. I love to work with fingering weight yarn. I don't always like to knit it as fingering weight yarn. I love to hold it double and make things. I make thicker socks or hats. I'm planning to make some mittens this year with fingering weight held double. I like to buy it because it is so versatile for me, because if you just keep putting more strands together, you can make any weight of yarn. So I think it's definitely fingering weight yarn. I have way too much, and I get excited when I see beautiful hand-dyed fingering weight yarns, and I buy just one skein, which is perfect for socks, but I'm not fast enough to knit it all. So whenever I find a really good project for it, like my Cozy Classic Raglan, which I'm having sizing issues with, and I'm gonna have to do a little sweater surgery. You're gonna see that in the coming weeks, but I just love it because I can put it into a project like that Cozy Classic Raglan, double it up and use it for a hat. It just is so versatile to me. And so I think if I only could knit with one type of yarn, it would just be fingering weight yarn of any brand or any like composition. I have found that I seem to have a preference for getting fingering weight with nylon, because then I have the option of making socks, and I'm so rough, according to Brian, on my socks that I am worried about getting holes in them, so the nylon gives me a little bit more peace of mind. But yeah, just any fingering weight yarn. So the last question, I got 4 questions about yarn. 3 of them were what's my favorite. The 4th one is essentially what's my favorite, and I think I already answered it, but I'm just gonna read it because I have a little story. It's, you can only knit with one yarn for the rest of your life. What yarn is it? It's just fingering weight yarn, but it reminds me, I listened to this interview with Andrea Mowry where they asked her this question, and she said it was, I think, Brooklyn Tweed Loft, which is a fingering weight woolen spun yarn that I absolutely love, and her reasoning was the same as mine, which is maybe why it's my reasoning. So maybe I just stole this from Andrea, but if I'm gonna steal from somebody, it might as well be her, because she knows what she's doing, right? But she said because she could double it up or triple it up and knit anything with it. And so I think that's why that's my answer. But that's the last question. I got some other questions, but I didn't have time to answer them all. I didn't want to make y'all sit here for God knows how long and listen to me ramble. But now I have actually 2 more questions that are going to lead into our giveaway. But first, I want to show you what I'm giving away, and then the answers to those questions are going to be for y'all to tell me, and it's going to be how you could win. So I was so excited to get 4,000 subscribers, and I've been thinking about doing a giveaway for a little bit of time, and my friends at Beautiful Sister reached out to me and asked if they could give me some bags so that I could give them to y'all, which was so generous. I have Beautiful Sister bags. I have 2 now. This one is my latest bag, and it is amazing. I have my latest sock project in here, and I love this print. It has the most amazing little ring for me to put stitch markers. It's just such well-made bags. The company is owned by 2 sisters. They hand make all these bags. They're gorgeous, perfect knitting bags. So they gave me some, and I'm gonna give it to y'all. But I put together a little sock go bag, and I grabbed a skein of exclusive yarn from Knit One Chicago, my local yarn store, that is from Local Yarn Store Day. So they dyed this color called I'm Liking It. It was only available on Local Yarn Store Day. I got 2, and I didn't know what I was gonna do with it, but I just got 2 for whatever reason. So I figured now is the perfect time to destash a little bit and pass it on to one of y'all so that you can use your new sock go bag and make a pair of socks. So I took this gorgeous bag from Beautiful Sister, and I put together a couple bobbins of waste yarn. Then I put some stitch markers on the little stitch marker ring that's in the bag from Beautiful Sister. I grabbed this gorgeous pink Knit One Chicago ruler from Katrinkles. Then I got this Coco Knits stitch fixer because I think you always have to have a stitch fixer. Then Knit One Chicago gave to me to give to y'all these beautiful stork scissors. They are in Knit One Chicago's signature color of orange, and I thought it would just be the most beautiful little like cherry on top of this sock go bag. So I'm putting this all together, and I'm gonna give it to one of y'all. Now, the way that you're gonna enter to win this prize is as follows. For the last 2 questions that I got, I thought would be a really fun way to give this away, to pick a winner. So the second to last question was, what's your favorite question? And here it is, except I'm not gonna answer it because I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it, and I don't know. The question is, you've discovered a time machine. Who in history would you travel to for a knit night? And how you're gonna win the giveaway is leave your answer down below in the comments, but don't tell people what the question is or why you're saying. I just wanna know, and feel free to tell me why, but leave the answer down below, and I'm gonna pick one of the answers and you'll win. So the giveaway is going to be open to residents of the US and Canada only, but leave your answer down below and I'll pick one of you in 2 weeks, so 2 weeks from today, which means I'll let you know in my video on November 15th who won the prize. So leave your answer, let me know who you want to knit with, anybody from history, and then stick around in the future to find out if you won. I can't wait to send this out, and I have a couple more bags from Beautiful Sister to give away in the very near future. They're equally beautiful, so if you don't win this one, don't worry. So that's it really. I just want to say one more time, thank you so much for all the support you've shown me on this channel. This was just something that I did on a whim, and I've been having so much fun getting to know you and letting y'all get to know me and talking about all this stuff that I love. So thank you for subscribing and all the likes and the comments and heading over to my Instagram and interacting with me there. It's the best place to interact with me because I'm most active on Instagram. So I hope you head over there and follow me if you don't already. And if you don't subscribe to me here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and the bell next to it to get notifications when I post new content, and hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. One more time, thank you so much. I hope you stick around for the future. I can't wait to see you, and enjoy your knitting in the meantime.